I'm going to bring you guys something a little different, not by design, it was completely by accident. So I was looking at HBO Max to see about watching some DC animated series that I have been meaning to get to, and I kind of save it on my saves list to get back to it, at a later time. So I saw this title, and it was called Superman Shazam: The Return of Black Adam. And I was like, cool. And I saw the title, and it was around 65 minutes, really short. And I was like, awesome, something short, something sweet, something that I could digest real quickly and pop out a review and see what it's all about. I love DC animation. I think they are one of my guilty pleasures since getting HBO Max. I've been gorging on DC animation. So I started watching it, and to my surprise, there was like 4 little short animated series, 4 of them actually, around 20 minutes each, probably less than that. I think the first one was 20, and then the other ones were probably like 10, 15 minutes around there. But it ends up being 65 minutes, and I was like, well, it'll be my first 4 mini feature review that I will do. So the first one, when you go and click on it, is going to be the title character. Now, A Death in the Family, also on HBO Plus, was similar. You have a 20-minute episode, and then they jump over to different stories, and I was so confused when I first saw that. I'm like, this can't be it about these movies, but they're little self-contained episodes. Now, I'm not familiar if that one, The Death in the Family, is just like a preview or just something to give you the taste of what's to come. But I haven't seen anything else on HBO Max. But if you guys know something that I know, is there a longer version of The Death in the Family where Robin dies? Let me know down in the comments. I would love to check that out. I was so intrigued, is the word, for that animated movie. But anyways, so the first one, like I said, is Superman Shazam: The Return of Black Adam, and it was really good. It was around 15-20 minutes long. It's all of these are self-contained episodes basically, and it was so good. I liked the animation. The voice acting was a little bit sus, only on Superman. I didn't like whoever voiced Superman in this little short, but Black Adam was great. Now it was kind of like an origins movie for Shazam, and it's similar to what we saw in the movie theaters. Now I don't know if this one came out afterwards. I'm assuming so, because there was a lot of familiarity with when I saw it. I was like, oh, it kind of looks like the movie, the live action movie. But I enjoyed it, and then as soon as that's done, it hops you over to less. In my notes, I put this as being good, right? The Superman Shazam one as good. For the other 3, they were all just okay. 1, they were too short, and 2, the voice acting was the animation on all of these is top notch. What you come to expect from a DC movie, or not DC movie, DC animation. And for the most part, I would say 90% of the time they hit it out of the park with the voice acting for most of the roles. So before I jump into the second one, so it's basically Black Adam comes in and is looking for Billy, and he wants to kill him because Black Adam was the chosen one. And it's so coinkydink that Superman was making a story about orphan kids, and that's how Billy and Superman were at the same place when Black Adam attacks. And again, coinkydink, because if Black Adam was smarter than that and knew that was Billy, he should have kind of waited to attack. But obviously, he didn't know that Clark Kent was Superman, and their fight was epic, ultimately leading with Black Adam being banished for like 10,000 years now, as opposed to the 5,000 years that it came. So if you don't watch all 4, make sure you watch the first one. You really enjoy it. So then it goes into a Spectre shorts. Spectre, I think. Spectre. Yeah, Spectre. And if you're not familiar with that character, he's basically like a demon kind of, but an anti-hero where if you do a crime, you're gonna face a punishment. And actually, Elisa Milano is voicing one of the female lead in this one. I was like, when I saw her name, I'm like, whoa! It always amazes me how A-star celebrities end up, I guess a job is a job, right? You have to get paid. You always think that they have to go for the mega bucks, but sometimes, a nice little paycheck to just do animated movies and get a feel for it is always a good thing, apparently, and it must pay very well because a lot of them do it now. And I was surprised that she was in a secondary, basically just a side character, but she was in it, and I was like, oh, nice. So basically, Spectre's investigating as is human form a crime and a death of a millionaire, and he uncovers that it was an inside job with his daughter, and his daughter let the criminals in, and he basically goes around casting revenge. And I thought that was very good acted all the way around. None of the characters made me not believe in them. The animation was kind of grainy but different, which was very, very good. And I definitely thought that was, okay. The second story is Green Arrow. The third story is actually Green Arrow. And Green Arrow's, there to, I think, what is the name of that character? She's the one that screams. The name freaking leaves me right now, but it's his love interest in the comics and in the animated series. I'm sure it's going to come to me right now. It's going to bother me. But anyway, so he's there to pick up his girlfriend, but in there he sees one of his enemies, and like, I know that guy. And it just so happens to be that there's this little girl that was a princess because her dad was assassinated, she is now the queen. And Mr. Vertigo, which is the dumbest name ever, is trying to kill the little girl so he can be king. And Green Arrow figures that out, and then his task where he takes it upon himself to protect his little girl. And who knew Green Arrow could kick so much ass? And again, voice acting was great. It was short, compact, but it was a compelling story. And at the end of the episode, he proposes to his girlfriend. It's the one that when she screams, and it's not supersonic, but when she screams, it does real damage and stuff. But really greatly animated. And the last one, which I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know about this dude, but is Jonah Hex. And I know people are gonna be like, "Oh my God, how could you even like comics and you don't know who Jonah Hex is?" Once I saw the name, I went in and downloaded some of the comics from him on my phone just to get familiar, because I did enjoy the short or the episode, and it's like this, Western kind of a feel. And I got to say, I'm disappointed in myself for not knowing who Jonah Hex was. And in his little short, the same thing, he's dealing with, he's a bounty hunter and he's looking for a character called Red. And in this, he enters a bar that's kind of like a bar and a brothel mixed, kind of that Western, cliche trope that you would see in many live actions or in just any Western, basically. Those are the bars that you got in there where, hey, sir, you want to have a good time? And so, the guy, the one that Jonah Hex is looking for gets there first. Obviously, we don't know about Jonah Hex yet. And the girl takes him upstairs, and she basically robs him and kills him. So Jonah Hex comes up to this bar, and he's looking for this guy. And this girl that works at the bar tells him, "Hey, I know where your guy is," because he asked, and he was like, "No, I never seen this person before," because they're afraid of the goons in that little bar, or the saloon as they would back in those days. But this girl, tells him, because Jonah gives her enough money to leave town so she could be safe. And the girl notices, because he goes, "Oh, rounds on me for everyone at the bar." And the girl, I can't remember her name though, comes down and tries to rob and kill Jonah. But for this instance, he already knew what was going on, and he defeats them. Kind of hits the woman, even though he goes, "You wouldn't hit a lady," and he goes, "You're not no lady," and smacks the ish out of her. Then after that, he basically needs the body to to claim the reward, and she takes her that the girl takes Jonah there, and it's like in a ditch somewhere that they're throwing all the bodies, and it's like a redemption kind of a thing. Very compelling story for being all short. If you have an hour to spend, go watch them. I know I'm not doing it complete justice by the way I'm reviewing it. I just don't want this review to be super long. I want to keep it condensed. But 4 really unique stories, 4 compelling stories. You won't be disappointed. The pacing is great. The voice acting sometimes will take you out of it because it doesn't match, what you see the character on screen, and you're like what you imagine. But maybe for you it won't knock you guys off. But again, it's on HBO Max. It takes less than an hour and 20 minutes, and it's literally 65 minutes. All 4 episodes, and you'll get your nice little DC animation fix. If you like DC animation or just DC, this will definitely get that bug or hit that bug, and you'll be like, oh, it was a delight to watch it. But anyways, if you check it out, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Did you enjoy them? Were they a little bit too corny? Were they too short? Like, what is this DC showcase about? Like, if you guys know, what is it? Is it just showcasing animated features or animated series that will be coming up in the future? I don't know. Like I said, this is the first time I ever touched on something like this where it's a DC showcase. So let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And like always, that's a wrap.